Do you believe that the streets of Chicago would be safer if there were more uniformed police officers on the streets of Chicago?
Look,
okay,
I'm not saying that
that's not the question I asked.
I don't believe that we should narrow it.
You all sit up there and said you will not allow Trump to come in here and get these illegals. Yeah, you can smile. We're in $1 billion deficit. And you spent half of our money, half of that on illegals. You campaigned and doubled down that you would not raise property taxes.
I won't raise your property taxes.
You wanted to raise our taxes $300 million. They shut it down. Now we back here for $150 million. Okay. See, this is what we asking now. Since you want to crash out, some of y'all say y'all willing to go to jail for it. Trump, Tom Homan, make an example out this Negro right here first. Please come here first, because you know what? We're going to help you. We want to for real.
Ma'am, I would ask that you...
You know what's crazy? Democrats keep saying Trump voters regret their choice. I don't see regret. I see results. Do you agree? Let's get right into the video.
An order with defund, dismantle, no bail laws, and reimagining the police. During his cabinet meetings today, President Trump highlighted the work his administration has been doing on cracking down successfully on crime in our nation's capital. Take a look.
If somebody kills somebody in the Capitol, Washington, D.C., we're going to be seeking the death penalty. And that's a very strong preventative. I think that crime is going to be a big thing. And we are the party, the Republicans are the party that wants to stop crime. We're against crime. The Democrats like crime. I don't know why. I mean, we talk about common sense. I think I got elected on talking about common sense. They're going to fight me. Like this slob of a governor you have in Illinois. And he goes about Trump, we don't need his help. Chicago is the worst. These places are really bad. We want to stay there for...
I mean, can we be honest with each other really quick? Can we be honest? Chicago needs the National Guard. Like, it's getting out of hand. Like, every holiday you see 36 dead over the weekend, 40 dead over the weekend, 40 dead in one day. Like, how is it a problem that Trump wants to stop the violence? Why are we talking about that? Why is this even a conversation? Like, common sense versus stupidity at this point.
For longer than 30 days, as you know, we have an absolute mandate, and I can extend it, but I'd rather not have to declare a national emergency because by that time, I mean, right now there's not an emergency. We should also work with our police department because you have very good police here, very good. We're working very well with them, by the way, and we have to work together for a while.
And so far, President Trump's efforts to combat crime in our nation's capital, it is paying massive dividends. This morning, Attorney General Pam Bondi posted an update on X announcing that last night another 87 arrests were made and 4 illegal firearms were seized. President Trump is taking common sense steps to reduce violent crime. Law and order, safety, security, as I said last night, it is a prerequisite for any American to pursue happiness. Now, something every American should be on board with. That should not be an issue red and blue. No, it should be, red, white, and blue. But inexplicably, the left wants no part of the effort to make our country safe and secure for you and your families. This morning, Politico sounded the alarm for Democrats, saying that if Trump's latest actions were an attempt to goad Democrats into saying crime isn't a problem, they did not disappoint. And there's no better example than Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, who has gone into full-blown meltdown mode over President Trump's efforts to take on crime and keep people safe. He was appearing on MSDNC's Liberal Morning Joe. Mayor Johnson refused 5 separate times to answer when asked if he'd accept more police funding for 5,000 cops and whether or not it would help safety and law and order in Chicago. Watch him duck and dodge and weave. Take a look.
I'm curious, would you also like to get federal funding to help put 5,000 more cops on the street in Chicago? Would that help drive down crime?
Well, look, policing by itself is not the full strategy.
No, I understand that. You've talked about the other things you want. Would 5,000 more police officers on the street in Chicago be helpful to go along with all of those social programs that a lot of cities are engaging in and having success with?
Well, look, here's the best way I can put it, Joe, is that in the 90s when I was in high school, we had 3,000 more police officers and we had 900 people being murdered every single year in Chicago. It's just not policing alone. Of course, we want more detectives.
I know it's not policing alone.
Joe.
But do you believe that the streets of Chicago would be safer if there were more uniformed police officers on the streets of Chicago?
Great question.
I believe the city of Chicago and cities across America would be safer if we actually had, affordable housing.
I mean, let's be real. Someone that could just go around a question like that's easy to answer, you can't trust a man like that. You just can't. Look at it. Look at that little mohawk. I mean, I saw a town hall meeting with him. The citizens in the city was calling him out. They were literally calling this man out because all he does is lie, and then he gets on national television. It looks like MSNBC. These two people right there, they're liars just within themselves. But for them to be calling him out, that has to be something big.
Look,
Okay,
I'm
but
not saying that
that's not the question I asked.
I don't believe that we should narrow it down to just police officers, Joe, is what I'm saying. That is an antiquated approach. I'm saying we've invested in detectives.
Mr. Mayor, are you hearing what I'm saying? Would an additional 5,000 cops on the streets in Chicago help complement those programs to make Chicago safer?
Look, we are working hard to make sure that our police department is fully supported.
Of course we know the answer, but if you are in a party that supports defund, dismantle, no bail laws, reimagining the police, sending in the social workers instead, you can't answer that question. It's basic, simple, common sense. Another weekend, by the way, of violence in Chicago. 6 dead, 27 injured. It shows the urgent need for a stronger police presence in his city. And the problem goes back decades. We have been scrolling on this program the names of people shot and killed and shot and severely injured in Chicago since Obama was president. But liberal Illinois politicians are so blinded by their rage and hatred of all things Donald Trump, they don't care.
We just want a strong economy, secure borders, and safe families. Do you agree with me? Because I know I'm not the only one that it feels like that. I don't care that those people over there are black, those people over there are white, Mexican, Hispanic, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. I just want everybody to be safe and we could thrive. Just be here legally, follow the law, and get a job. Like, go to college, do something, right? You don't have to break the law all day, every day.
They've done nothing. They're ignoring their own residents' pleas for safety. Make no mistake, as a country, we are at an ideological tipping point. Usually we say that during election years. This is an inflection point for the country. It's basic common sense versus utter stupidity. And Democrats are on the wrong side of every single issue. When President Trump took steps to fix the economy, hand out the largest tax cuts in history for working men and women in this country, no tax on tips or overtime, protecting seniors with no tax on Social Security, Democrats, they pushed back. They voted for the largest tax increase in history. When President Trump sent illegal criminal aliens out of the country, Democrats, fought for their so-called rights of the likes of Abrego Garcia to stay here. When President Trump stood up to protect women's sports, Democrats were fighting for the right to keep biological men in women's locker rooms and on the field of play. When President Trump took steps to create lasting peace around the world, Democrats rooting against peace, hoping for failure. And now as President Trump is taking steps to make the country safe and secure for you and your family and keep our citizens safe, once again, Democrats are on the wrong side, fighting to keep America's big cities, dangerous, crime-ridden?
At the end of the day, Trump fights for Americans. Democrats fight against common sense. That's the real divide in this country. Let me know what you guys think about this pretty quick video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're new. And as always, let me know what you react to. Out.